Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Cook on Cars. So, last time we were here, we were talking about this beautiful Rover Coupe 216 SE, and we were saying it was around 3 to 5 grand. So, that's all well and good. But what if you've got a bit more pocket money? What if you can afford 10 grand? Maybe even 15 you can stretch to. You can get yourself an absolute stonker. You can get something that is got a cult following. Whoa. It's also from Germany. It is the ultimate driving machine. It's the BMW E36 M3. Wow, look at that, it's beautiful, it's absolutely stunning. I tell you what, it's hurting my eyes, it's so bright, so it's time to put some sunglasses on. Wow, what a car, look at that, an M3 on the channel, yes! Right, so anyway, this is the original brochure for the car, so I'm just going to let you know the colours that this car came in. It came in Alpine White, Dakar Yellow, Bright Red, Arctic Silver, Boston Green, Byans, Techno Violet and Cosmos Black, and this colour, which if you had a cabriolet you could have Estral Blue without a problem, but if you wanted it on an M3 coupe you had to pay extra. It was an optional extra, and I'm glad to say that the owner of this car, who first bought it, chose this colour because I think it sets it off beautifully. So let's actually have a look in this boot, shall we, and see what we've got. Oh, look at that. It's massive. It's even got a body bag in the back. Oh no, wait a bit. That is actually the car cover. It comes all the way from Germany. I think it was only available for the American market. Really hard to get hold of. Really hard to get hold of. It's got a full-size wheel under here, alloy as well, beautiful. And it's still the original alloy, original tyre on it. I don't think it's ever been on the car. Tons of space in this car. You've got the original first aid kit in here as well. And you can also get a cage bag thing that goes in here as well to catch everything. Now, the most important thing to anybody who owns a BMW, and I've had many, always check the toolkit. Let's see, shall we? It's a toolkit moment. Well, you're not going to believe it. This one is complete. It's got everything. I can't believe... I haven't seen one with everything in years. This is amazing. Right, okay, well, it's got an original kit. That's just amazing. Anyway, boot space, capacity, 405 litres. Not bad at all. It means you get 2 sets of golf clubs in here, because that's why you buy one of these, isn't it? It's also got this really cool bracket. What they didn't realise with the boot is that with the weight of the spoiler and everything, if you slam it, you actually crack along here. So this is a strengthening plate that's been added by the owner just to make it last that little bit longer. And if you keep shutting it from a nice low height like that, locks perfectly well, but doesn't cause any damage. Right, we've got obviously a nice little touch there with the M3 badge. You notice they've got clear lenses now. And I think that is absolutely frigging awesome. A bit like the Rover, they just went over to clear lenses all of a sudden, got rid of orange lenses, much nicer. We've got, look at this, absolutely stonking massive exhaust on it, and it's a Scorpion one, which sounds just right, absolutely beautiful. So, let's have a look around the rest of the car. It is absolutely gorgeous. So, let's talk about the wheels. These are M double spokes, or if you're a know-it-all, Style 24, and these ones are running 245s 40s. on 17s, and then obviously at the front they're 17s as well, but these are 225 45s. So yeah, big old tyres, nice staggered setup. Very common for BMW to do that. But wow, look at them. Stunning wheels, stunning colour. Now, a nice little thing here is, you see these little marks here in the door? This is a way of telling that for 6 months only, they produced aluminium doors on this M3, which is why this door is so light. It's unbelievable. So yeah, nice little trick there for you. If you're looking at one of these, you want to look for those marks there, and then you'll know that it's an aluminium door, and you're buying an even rarer M3. Right, let's have a look at the engine, shall we? There she is, the S50 B32. That is absolutely stunning. As you can see, this one is a Euro spec car because it's got the individual throttle bodies, and we've also got the Vanos system. That is just tremendous, the way that it will always constantly adjust. Hidden underneath is all the tubular manifolds, which is great because obviously in the 328s and stuff, you only get just a cast block manifold, and this is all tubular, much better for the exhaust flow. You've got an Eventuri induction kit that's been fitted to this just to give it some more bite to its bark. You've got the throttle cable here that's actually routed round the back rather than the front, which is the standard setup for the normal BMW cars, and so a lot of people see photos of the normal BMW cars and route it round the front rather than round the back, which is the standard setup for the M3 Evo. Big bore master cylinder here, which is exclusive to the BMW M3s only. You obviously can mod them to fit to your car if you want, but it's a much better system. Aluminium radiator here, much better. Not that this is an unreliable engine, because it really isn't. You get a light, so you can work on your engine to your heart's content at night. Fantastic feature, should be on more. Strut brace right across the top, which they've pinched out the GT, and what you can't see, which is underneath, is a beautiful cross brace that comes out of the convertibles, and a lot of people fit them. That's how you actually close a proper bonnet on an M3, well, most BMWs, to be honest with you. So let's get on to the most important bit. Let's talk about the front of this car. Well, for you guys who've got the keen eye, you've obviously noted that we've got some carbon fibre kidney grills here. Love it or hate it? Let us know in the comments. I think it actually sort of works with the car, the carbon fibre, even though obviously it wasn't really around when these cars were first produced, so it didn't really look right. Now let's talk about this. So, once again, we've got the first time we see the twin head units together, because if you think back to the E30, it had single lights only, doubles but separate. And when this car came out, I remember looking at it and thinking, I don't actually like it. And I know it's going to upset a lot of you people, but going from the E30 with the old quad headlights, all singular, it looked beautiful. That was a BMW, and as far as we were aware, this is what BMWs look like. This was a very bold move of BMW to go for twin clusters together. See, he's added angel eyes to these just to make them look a bit more modern, and they've also got projector lights, I believe they are in these. Fog lights, well, we should have fog lights, but as the owner explained to me, they fell out on a track day. And then we've got this lovely front split. You've got a nice bit here that flex. It's a bit like the Rover in a way. Grille, nowhere near as big as the Rover though. You remember that Rover had a much bigger mouth on it, so you know it's interesting how they've gone for a slightly smaller mouth. But they obviously don't need it so much, maybe. And then you've got these ducts here for their brakes. So they're brake ducts. Really, really cool. Right, so let's move round to this. Look at these beauties. Got some lovely yellow calipers here. Not sure about them myself. Let us know in the comments what you think. But what we'll say is, they're engraved with the M Sport logo. None of these fancy sticker things that we get on modern cars that looks a bit they're actually properly engraved. They've also got EBC drilled and grooved discs. Oh yeah, plenty of stopping power. Right, and then we'll move on to this. Now this is a bone of contention with a lot of people here. This is an M3 mirror. So now, let's not buy these and stick them on our Saxos or our Corsas or any car that isn't a BMW M3. Anyway, that's the bone of contention. Let's go and have a look at this interior. Right then, let's have a look in the rear of this car, shall we? See how much space there is, because you know this is what we're about. Oh, hello, who's that? Oh, hello, Alexander. Got a passenger with us. Right, let's see what we got. Well, I can tell you, my cameraman who owns this car is 5'3", and this is his seating position. So I don't know how the heck anyone would sit behind me being 6'4". Wow, though. But anyway, so my knees are straddled either side of this seat, basically. Nice touch on the seat belt, but look at that, it's a nice little touch with the M colours on there. And then we've got these beautiful little leather armrests as well to sit on, all full leather in the back. I love these M seats, the fact that the seat belts come through from the middle, and the headroom, not too bad. Much more headroom in the Rover, I think, but yeah, not bad at all. I'll tell you what though, it's blooming hot in here. Matt, would you mind just opening the windows, please? Yeah, no worries, mate, of course. Well, that's not much better, but I tell you what, it's something. And the fact that you've got electric rear windows is pretty amazing because they're so rare, you very rarely see them indeed. Right, let's get out of this car. Unlike the last video, I didn't shut the door and lock myself in child locks wise or anything. Not that I think you get child locks on the driver's door. Oh, right, so first things first, I need to put this seat back because I am not 5'3". Oh, well, first time in a long time in an old 90s car. Actually, I'm too far away from the pedals, so I can bring myself a bit further forward. There we go, there we go. Oh, yes, lovely. And then let's shut the door. Nice solid BMW feel. I do like that about BMWs. Even at this age, you still get a nice solid feel to them. Right, well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. There is a lot of carbon fibre, you may have noticed, darted all over this car. I quite like it. Let us know in the comments what you think, but I think actually it's nice. It doesn't look like it's out of place, oddly enough, in this car. Anyway, on the dash you are greeted with a load of stuff here. We've got a CD player, which isn't original. They've removed that at some point. You've got your full climate control and air conditioning system. You've got every which way possible that you want. And it's dual climate control, so that's pretty flash for the time. That's quite a nice feature. Then you've got your trick computer unit thing down here that does everything and anything. I mean, I reckon if I pushed enough buttons I could probably launch a rocket or something. There's that much adjustment here. You can set your distance and you can do all your trips and you can do all your travel journeys and stuff. And then as you see, we've got the two sets of power windows here for the front and the rear, so that's great too. This isn't original, but it's a nice little touch, this Alcantara bit. I quite like that, that's nice. And he's gone for the M3 colours again, so that sort of works, it's not too bad. And it doesn't look too out of place, oddly enough. I know there's no other Alcantara in this car anywhere, but it looks alright. Another great thing about this car is it's got it's got electric roof, that's great. And then you've also got this dip rear beam thing with a sensor, so that when you get your bright lights at night, it automatically adjusts itself with, there's like a liquid in there that crystallises and makes it much darker, so it looks really cool too. But let's be honest, this car, the most important thing is it being a driver's car. So shall we go for a drive? Hardly expected me to do this in short and t-shirts, were you? I've got to be proper, haven't I, in this? Look at me, I've got the shirt on, I've got the tie, I even went and got my hair cut. I'm driving an M3, and it's the 1990s, so I've got to look like it's the 1990s. Typical BMW salesman clothing. Let's go for a drive. first thing we need to talk about is the drive. It's quite a bumpy ride, but these beautiful Vader seats, they are hugging and soaking up all the bumps in this car, so you don't really feel it. You know there are bumps there, especially when you find a big one like this one, but you're not feeling it really because the seats are really, really keeping it up. Here we go then. So it's a very weighted clutch, which I do love. Power is instantaneous. This car is the way it just holds onto the corners as well. You really do feel like it's a driver-focused car. Now, I have been reliably informed by the owner that you can drive this over 30 miles an hour in 6th gear because it's that cruisability. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm in 5th now, doing 2,000 RPM at 50 miles an hour. Oh no, sorry, 45 miles an hour. She's just cruising absolutely fine. A bit of a drone there with that exhaust, but I've been told that on the motorway speeds that completely disappears, which is just what you want. I love this double S bit. Great little crackle coming from the exhaust with the pops and bangs, and that isn't some kind of engine management thing, that is standard. Lovely little crackles, nice weighted steering wheel as well. Really, yeah, it's got a nice weight to it. It lets you points the car exactly where you want it to go. But it's nice, and I think he's put a quick rack system on this as well, which is definitely helping with the steering because you can see the amount of input I'm putting in. It's hardly anything, but the amount of output I'm getting from this thing is ridiculous. I mean, I'm coming up to a real tight bend here, and if you can see the steering wheel turn I'm about to take, that's it. That's it, that's all I'm doing to go around a corner, you know? That's ridiculous. It's a good mod, I have to say. Whoop. A couple of dodgy bumps on this bit of road. Now I'm doing a nice little tight S-bend here. See that input? Almost nothing. Now if I was doing that in any other car, we'd be halfway around the steering wheel by now. So it does make a massive difference. There, you could easily drive this car. I'm going to say it again, I said it with the Rover, but it's the same with this. You could drive this as an everyday car. I mean, granted, the fuel economy is not... Oh, bugger, not again! Right, so we're back on the road again, after filling up. And, yeah, like I was saying, the fuel economy is fantastic. It's not the best in the world, but it's all right. You know, you can live with it. It's not too bad. The problem is this is one of those cars where you're not going to be driving it like driving Miss Daisy, are you? If you've got an M3, yeah, there's going to be that time when you've got the kids in the car maybe, and you're cruising back from somewhere on the motorway, and you're going to have it in top gear and just drive around. But let's be honest, if you're driving down some A roads, some B roads, you're going to be playing with this thing, aren't you? Because that's what it's all about. It's about playing with the box, having great fun with this thing. Oh, this is lovely. And the undulations on this road, the way it's bouncing around a bit, hello, there's a nice crackle and bang from that little Audi over there. Yeah, you can really feel it, but at the same time with this Bilstein B12 kit, I think it is, it's really, yeah, it handles so much better than stock cars. I have driven a couple of stock M3s and they are lovely still, but this is just that little bit more solid on the road, you know, it's really planted. People use the word, you know, riding on rails with cars a lot in the business, and let's be honest, some cars don't really feel like they're riding on rails. They feel good, but you know, people say, oh, it's riding on rails. This really does feel like it's on rails. You don't think that there's any way you could lose this, and let me be honest with you, the only way you're going to lose this is if you're driving like an absolute tool. technology feel to it. Reminds me very much of my GT4 I used to own, which was very solid, but it was old-fashioned. You know, if you jumped, that was a bump there. If you jump into, you know, a modern-day BMW, everything's all power-assisted steering or electronic steering. You know, and there's less connectivity with the road nowadays. But this is proper old-school technology. You don't have to worry. You know, you are connected to the road. This is a solid car. I personally like the older technology feel to it because I just feel like I'm connected. The torque on this is fantastic. You can just pull away in second. I mean, to be honest with you, I would imagine you could pull away in third even. But it's, yeah. What a car. What a car. Love you. It doesn't feel out of place. It's got you've got a nice little bit of engine note behind you all the time, which is basically like having a little leprechaun on your shoulder. Just say, go on, go a little bit faster, go a little bit faster. And why wouldn't you? You want to go a little bit faster in this car. It's just, it eggs you on to go quicker. It's, yeah. Yes, I love this car. I absolutely bloody love this car. Spectacular. Right, we'll slow down now to come to a 40. There we go, then we're going to drop it down a cog. Ready? Oh, yes! What an engine! I love you, BMW! I tell you what, if you've got 15 grand to spend, you get out there and you get yourself the best M3 E36 Evo you can find, because I tell you what, these are future classics. They're already becoming, got a cult following, but you really need to get yourself one of these. This is something you need in your life. Journey to work will never be boring again. You know you're in something special when you're driving this. You really do. And there's not many on the road. So, you know, if you're buying one of these, you're buying a bit of class. You're being an individual. And that does sound ridiculous, being a BMW, because everyone goes, oh, if you're buying a BMW, you're following the pack. Well, yes, if you're buying a brand new M3, you are following the pack. Or M4 now. You know, you are following the pack. But if you buy an old school M3, E30, E36, buy one of these, stand out, be different. That's what life's all about now, we know. You know, we've all realised that you don't want to be a sheep, you don't want to follow the pack. So have one of these, because you've got a serious fun car, you've also got a massive investment. Because for 15 grand, I promise you, look at the old E30 M3s. One famously sold for £240,000 the other week. You know, these cars are not going to be cheap. They are going to go up in value. This is 15 grand now. Mark my words, in 10 years, these will be 35, 40. You know, they are a future classic. I mean, they already are becoming classics and they are getting good status. But these are a really good investment. And you can't say that really with most new BMWs. You can't say that they're a future investment, because they're not at the moment, you know. So, I really want one so badly to own one of these, and you should too. For the price of 15 grand, I mean 15 grand is nothing for something of an absolute, this is a Munich legend. absolutely stunning. And I urge you to get out there, get one test driven, because once you've driven one, you'll want one. And I'm really seriously considering getting one myself. Till next time, guys, stay safe, look after yourselves, and I'll catch you next. Click on Cars. Bye.
Matt, the keys, please.
What?
I need the keys, please. Can't keep them.
No, please, let me just. Can I go home in it?
I need to go home.
Can I have it for a week?
No.
A day?
No, I paid my
more
money
hours.
for this. I want it.
Do we need to do some more shooting?
No.
So please let me have them just a little bit longer.
No.
Ah! I wish that was me. What a shame. You know, so yeah, you're not really supposed to be filming this. Yeah, okay, guys. Do you know where the next bus is? Anyone?